Okay, so today we are learning how to do the Rubik's Cube. Now this is something that I've been asked to do by a couple of people, a video series that I'm going to make about the 7 basic steps how to solve this thing, and yeah, we'll get straight into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just jumble this cube, so it's fully solved as you can see, and we'll just sort of, you don't have to do it heaps, because I'm not going to undo the steps that I've just done. Okay, so let's just say that is looking, there's a few, that's looking pretty sort of scrambled. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do when you're solving the Rubik's Cube is note that the center tiles, so this one here is yellow, green, white, and blue, and orange and red, obviously. Those are the colors that the entire face are going to be when the cube is completely solved. So the center color here is red, which means this side, when it's completely solved, will be entirely red. This one entirely blue, and so on around the cube. So this is really important because the first step that we're going to learn today is how to make a cross. So the cross is the first step out of the 7 steps on how to solve the Rubik's Cube. So how do you do that, you might ask? Well, the first thing that I have to teach you is how to actually rotate the cube. So because red is the cross that I'm going to make, because it's my favorite color, I'm going to keep the red on top. So these are the different ways in which the cube can move. So you can either rotate up on the right hand side, like that, or you can rotate up on the left hand side. You can move the top around. You can move the bottom around. You can move the front around. Or you can move the back around. So what's important to note is that I've held the red top at the top the whole time. I've tried to keep the cube as straight as possible. One thing that I've seen when people are trying to figure out how to do the Rubik's Cube, they keep moving the cube around, doing this sort of stuff. But it's really important, keep your favorite color, the one that you're going to make the cross, has to remain up the top like mine has. So we'll go through that again. Right, left, top, bottom, front, and back. Okay, so now how am I going to make sure that I get myself a cross? Well, first things first, I try and keep the red at the top the whole time, and I move the cube around to see where some of the other spots are. So I know that this here's a red that if I move straight up, like so, it's going to come next to the center red, which is what I want. So that's the first part out of our 4 pieces of the cross that we need to make. So that's the first part. However, when making the cross, you need to make sure that this color here, which in this case is blue, even though the reds are matched and it looks like you're going to make a nice cross, that blue has to actually go on top of the center that you're trying to solve it for. So it needs to be something like that. That needs to make a nice little sort of line like so. Okay, so that's the first one. So what else can we see? This here, the white and red edge, is going to move to here. So that one there is going to go into there. So this is a really tricky one because it's already sort of in the cross position, but it's just the wrong way around. So the way we get rid of this is you pull the white down so that it is now level with the white center. And then when you rotate the front, you'll see that it's actually gone where it needs to go, with the white on white, the blue on the blue. Okay, so rotating the cube around, I can already see here's another one, so it's the red and green edge. So red and green, so this edge here needs to make its way into here. So the way to do that, obviously, is pretty well what we did with the white before. Rotate the front face so that it goes into where it needs to go. So we've got green on green, white on white, blue on blue, and we need the yellow and red edge. So I need to have a look around the cube until I find it. Okay, so here it is over here. Remember, red is always on top, so I'll put all these fingers on this one here so that I know where my red face is. Here is my yellow and red edge here. So this piece here is, in our final cross, going to go into there. So the best way that I find to do it is, because it's already on the bottom, it sort of reflects, so there's the bottom there, it reflects what's going on this side. So all I need to do is match this yellow to where it needs to go eventually, which will be with the yellow center. And then when I do a double spin, so 1, 2, it's going to go into where I want it to go. So now I've got blue on blue, yellow on yellow, green on green, white on white, and I have a nice red cross on top. So those are some of the steps, and I'll go through a couple more examples in a second as to how you can get pieces into that red cross.